Some records are sealed to protect the truth. Others are sealed because the truth is too uncomfortable to face. On March 6, 1981, inside a courtroom in Lübeck, West Germany, a record was created that no law book knew how to explain. It lasted only a few seconds, but more than 40 years later, the question it raised still has no clear answer. This is a true story, and once you hear it, it doesn't leave you. Her name was Marianne Bachmeier. She was 30 years old, a single mother, working class, living a quiet life in northern Germany. Her world revolved around one person, her 7-year-old daughter, Anna. Anna walked to school every day, a short, familiar path, a path she had taken many times before. On one ordinary morning in May 1980, Anna never came home. Anna was abducted by a man named Klaus Grabowski. He was not unknown to authorities. He had a criminal record. He had been imprisoned before for sexual violence against children. What happened next was brutal. Anna was sexually assaulted, then suffocated. Her body was later found in a cardboard box. When Marianne Bachmeier was informed, there were no cameras, no microphones. Just a mother standing in front of a truth that language cannot soften. From that moment on, her life split into two parts: before and after. Grabowski was arrested. The legal system moved forward, slowly, carefully, by the book. For the court, this was a case. For Marianne, this was the man who ended her child's life. The trial began in March 1981. Every day, Marianne attended these hearings. She sat quietly in the courtroom, listening as lawyers discussed her daughter's death in legal terms. Procedures, psychological evaluations, sentencing possibilities. At one point, the court discussed whether Grabowski should be placed in a psychiatric hospital instead of prison. For Marianne, this sounded like something else entirely. It sounded like the system was still protecting him. March 6th, 1981. The courtroom was full. Judges were seated. Lawyers prepared to speak. Grabowski stood behind his desk. Marianne Bachmeier was sitting in the audience. She stood up. From her handbag, she took out a Beretta pistol. She walked forward and she fired 7 shots. 6 hit Grabowski. He collapsed and died on the courtroom floor. People screamed. Security rushed in. The court descended into chaos. Marianne did not try to escape. She placed the gun down and waited. Germany froze. Newspapers exploded with headlines. Television debates filled the evenings. Was this murder? Or was this a mother pushed beyond the limits of endurance? Marianne was arrested and put on trial. She did not deny what she did. She did not ask for forgiveness. Psychiatrists testified about her mental state, about trauma, about unbearable grief. In 1983, the court delivered its verdict. Marianne Bachmeier was sentenced to 6 years in prison for manslaughter. She served only 3 years before being released on parole. The court acknowledged something rare, that the act was illegal but deeply human. The law says justice must be impartial, but history shows us moments where emotion breaks through procedure. Marianne Bachmeier lived the rest of her life quietly. She died in 1996. Her daughter never grew up. This case is still taught in law schools, not because of the crime alone, but because of the question it leaves behind. What happens when justice follows the rules but forgets the pain? Some records remain sealed not to hide the truth, but because opening them forces us to look at ourselves.